comments, but again, that's up to council, but we would have, so council, we would have to amend the borough ordinance for the trash collection if we do go that route, so that would have to be something on council's mind as well. Just so that court office have to collect attorney's fees and everything that we're doing with the court office contained within that borough ordinance as part of the penalty phase.
So would we be able to vote on this then next week to think through to get this rolling
Vote on the port knob or vote on?
for our ordinance?
So we only have to amend the ordinance if council is going to decide on going with the port knob. If you are, then you have to post it and then,
Okay.
so I don't think you'd be able to go on it next week.
But what we might be able to do is maybe we could share a copy of our ordinance with Portnoy and say that, you know, if we are going to work with you, will this work? Do you need any additional language in there for attorney's fees and costs? There are very strict consumer protection laws. So when you try to collect money from consumers, it's a lot different than trying to collect money from a business. And
Yeah.
the fee shifting and all that kind of stuff. So we just want to make sure that you do it.
So I guess we could, if council wants to talk about the letter from Drew, if you want to go with that, and then the ordinance.
No, I don't know what we can't vote on anything, but.
Oh, no, I know, I'm
But
just
maybe,
making
do you think
discussion.
maybe you and Drew could maybe take the letter and we can take the ordinance and talk to them? Or actually, that would maybe not give them the letter, but talk to them about the ordinance and we could take a look at the letter. And
I
make
have
sure
a
we have it.
contact.
I could talk
I think the
about,
letter seems good, Drew.
I think they should get this first and then,
That's what I was
yeah.
thinking.
oh yeah,
But-
go to Portnoy after
Right.
this.
That's what I think. Yeah,
if people respond to the letter, I'm not sure if they will or not.
right,
Yeah, but if it gets another 7%, you guys are up to 90%, I think it makes sense to
right.
not go with them, but yeah, that's up to you.
So does this qualify?
I would send it out certified, probably with a copy of the ordinance attached to it, so they have a copy of that as part of that letter packet.
Yep.
But I could talk to Portnoy about the ordinance to ensure that is complies with anything thinking on their end.
Yeah.
And then, review that sample contract that council would have to sign to ensure that there's no hidden fees or anything that's gonna affect, the bottom line for collecting those fees.
Yes.
You just want to make sure, since you're a third party, and it's not your debt, if there's this language you have to put in there saying this is a debt collection letter. Banks use it. I don't know what they do with municipal stuff. Just want to make sure they have it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will put, I'll put both the trash, the things, Drew's letter for the meeting next week to see how council wants to proceed with that.
And I'll formalize it with letterhead on it, so you have a copy with the borough letterhead, to send out with the packet.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Good enough. Thank you. Okay, next item is our SAPA committee.
So we're back with the SAPA committee. It was 5 years ago. And they're coming up now with 5 years later. We sent out this memo that we received from Mary Liz Donato. So they're gonna have a meeting towards the end of August. But the one thing I do know without a doubt is that we're gonna need 2 representatives. We need 1 representative and 1 alternate.
Have you spoken with the zoning hearing board, the planning commission?
I have not. I wanted to talk to council first and see who would be, but the person should have obviously knowledge of SAPA and our zoning ordinances.
Right.
So I could reach out under council's.
What's
It is, Scranton, I'm sorry,
Abington.
Scranton Abington Planning Association.
They set up, they do zoning ordinance. So
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Do you want me to explain it to you? There's a pretty simple explanation of what this is. When you have a town and there's land use ordinances, that means residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, there's many different land uses. So with this, it lets we have 9 municipalities now. We all create one document so that, and just to give you an example, Dunmore, has the landfill.
Right.
Without this, we would be mandated to have some area for a landfill. Obviously, we don't have that. This was a cohesive agreement between, it was the 9 different municipalities, and they're talking about adding 3 more. So this was a really good use of everybody sharing the land uses through all these different communities. And it ended up being I think a good avenue for the borough.
But they redid the zoning ordinance a couple of years ago, so it's probably not gonna be too much work going forward, I
I
would
would
think.
hope not, right?
No, I don't.
They're gonna ask, some questions, who's interested in this, that, the other, but like I said, I know for sure we are gonna need a representative, so I figure the first thing would be to get on that. So I would be glad to reach out to between zoning, and planning commission to see if
Yeah.
either they are interested or they know somebody.
I see.
And then, they said hopefully they'll be meeting in August. I will let you know with any other developments. Okay,
Next one is Mr. Manny's correspondence that we have.
this was the actual letter that we received. I made it into a something that was easier for council to read. This is the information that we got, and he was posted for lack of payment for his sewer bill.
So what exactly is he asking us? I did read the letter, and I know it seemed like he was kind of upset, but is he asking us to waive the late fees,
No.
or
He's not really asking anything. He just wanted to,
just let us know what was going on? Or
Yes.
his feeling about the borough.
his feeling about the borough. I will also tell you that, one of our police officers, had an encounter with him at the borough building where Mr. Yarmy was yelling profanities at our police officer. His daughter called explaining that he is suffering some kind of dementia issue, so just wanted to make council aware of the situation. But no, he's not really asking for any.
I guess we can take it with a grain of salt, but we always have to try to customer service. I think that's the phrase he used a lot in his letter. And
We
try our best, but we always.
We try our absolute level best every day with residents. Always treating them fairly and understanding and listening to whatever their situation is. We do.
And you get some difficult calls, I'm sure.
But you know what, we handle them because
Appreciate it.
all people are different in difficult situations, but this gentleman, he's definitely seems to be having an issue, and it's a sad thing.
And
Maybe. Next is our new part-time police officer. We did an interview Monday night with the chief, the mayor, Ronnie, Jean, and myself. And, we have a copy of his resume.
I do, I have it in the packet.
In the packet too. And, we all felt it was an excellent interview. He's a full-time sheriff right now. And, Sheriff Mark McAndrew recommended him highly. And he even called the chief, told the chief what an excellent part-time candidate he is. He said, if he were to come on as a part-timer, he said, his shift now is, what was it, 8 to 4?
He's 8 to 4 Monday through Friday, so he has overnight availability as well as weekend availability, which the chief said is critical shifts that we're having difficulty filling right now, so that would be great. And then with it being summer, obviously everyone's taking vacation, we want people to onboard him. I believe he has all of his certifications
Yes. he did.
already as well,
He was an excellent candidate.
Yeah.
I will say that. He was one of the better ones.
So he would onboard seamlessly. So our recommendation is to hire him as a part-time officer.
Do we have other candidates so far?
No.
No.
Oh, okay, no, I was excited there for a second, it was just multiple part-time, that'd be very nice.
This guy
He was good, he was a good candidate.
And we hired part-timers that are active in the armies and they're both overseas right now.
Yeah. So,
So we are in need. So it is our recommendation to vote to hire him next Wednesday.
okay,
Before we adjourn though, we got the, Phyllis Robarski. I guess she sent an email from the Rotary regarding the clock tower. I'm not sure if you guys just saw that or,
yes, yeah.
so,
There was no headway with Decker at all. And so they're still basically in the planning stages with it. They want to do more research to find out who actually put that clock up there. And do we have any information in our archives who put it up?
I gave everybody that little bit of information I found
Yeah,
with Warren Watkins, but there was no ownership or anything, and it was just talking about gonna put up the clock, going to, there was nothing else.
right.
Well, nothing specific, no.
Did Decker own the building at that time when that clock went in? These are questions that I was asked and I said,
We don't
just-
know. I don't have any solid paperwork to tell you.
Right, yeah, yeah. I said we would kind of look into it and see, but.
and but we were maintaining it for a while, but then we stopped maintaining it.
No, we haven't stopped maintaining it yet.
Don't know if they're gonna let us.
I'm sorry.
Well, we haven't put any money to it, right? We haven't
No.
done anything with it for years.
I apologize. I mean, not with the clock we haven't. I mean, we are still taking care of his property.
Oh, yeah.
Because, but he has the electrical box, which is, we still utilize, and we still have the 9/11 support.
We do. Who owns the 9/11 memorial? We don't know. The electrical box, I have one bid from an electrician. Two other electricians said they weren't able to do it. To move the power from the electrical box to inside the borough here. That was Walsh Electric. They're the only ones that gave me.
Right.
So it's still really up in the air. So the borough right now, we're still taking care of that chunk of land,
Yeah, I saw.
mowing
Mowing,
the flower bed and
yeah.
that maintenance.
Okay, and just to clarify, look, so initially I thought, we were contacting with Mr. Decker. And then I thought the owner, we may have an ownership interest in the clock, but we're saying we don't have an ownership interest in the clock.
We do not.
No,
No,
But Rotary is not claiming the clock and saying they have an ownership interest. So right now we have to find out who owns it.
it seems like the Rotary is just starting to look into it.
Okay, and the Rotary wants the clock to be torn down. They don't want to fix that clock.
No, correct. I don't think it can be fixed.
Okay. And then they want to put the clock up in the triangle.
right.
Yes, which could
And
be a problem.
but they don't have any approval from PennDOT. So
Right.
we could walk
And they
into
were
the same
discussing it,
problem.
right?
And PennDOT will be probably harder to deal with than Mr. Decker, I would think.
Well, the clock has to be so high because tractor trailers going through, there's a lot of issues that they would have to come.
Just to kind of,
In ordering a particular clock that would satisfy the state, and that's,
And the Rotary is suggested that we try to maybe look for help with grant money. That's what I think they said here.
well, they're looking at the Lions to see. No more than up in Clark's Green, they have on the base of the clock, all the different ones that donated towards that clock. So they said maybe they would kind of look in this direction a little bit too, to see if,
there's still a lot of
And if
unanswered
we have
questions.
no ownership, this really isn't our problem, correct?
well, I said even
At
for
all.
us to make a donation towards it,
We
I
have no
see.
obligation to this clock, correct, Jen? At
Oh,
all.
no.
We have
no
nothing
legal
written
obligation. There's
that
nothing
I have
written.
seen or that I'm aware of. I remember this with Virginia. I remember the same situation. There was no paperwork, nothing that says we own it. It was
Yeah,
donated to the borough is what
right.
we were told many years ago. And I haven't,
So there's no responsibility for us to repair, replace, or do anything with this clock.
But yet we were maintaining.
Yeah, I
it.
don't know,
We
We
really.
were responsible for the electric for that clock.
Oh, yeah, they were in on our meter.
I think legally we're in a gray area with the clock,
Mhm.
because technically, someone could make the argument that we are responsible for the upkeep if we're maintaining it, but legally it's not ours, right? So, but there could be the argument to be made that, we're maintaining the power box, the clock
Are we
itself.
still doing that? Is it still on our meter?
Right now it is.
The clock is on our meter and the Christmas lights are both on the meter that's over there.
And the pot, again, is only right twice a day, so it's not really using any electricity.
It's only right twice. a
We've
day.
maintained it through the years. We have a clock
Yeah.
maintenance agreement.
But, they're also looking at other grants and stuff, so they said it's gonna be a while before they actually,
It sounds like,
get it resolved.
I think they're still looking into it. They're still,
yeah.
I think we've been talking about it for a few months, but I think they're really just starting
Right.
to look into it. So,
The Rotary is?
yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they're assuming the responsibility for looking into grant money and other
Oh,
additional
yeah.
financing.
I think they're actually, they say, if you have progressed this quest, we could try to help with grant money. Okay. So I don't know if they're looking for us to get it or they're gonna get it or.
No.
I was under the impression they
They're
were.
getting it.
Correct, yeah.
I was at
They
the
were trying to
Rotary
respond.
meeting and I said, the unfortunate thing is, the borough, if we were to do that, we open an obligation to any other, the Lions Club.
We could help them that way.
Civic League, if they would come to us, so I said, well, we kind of have to back off on all of it because it could become overcoming. And they said they understood that, but they said, they're gonna be working on different.
Because we are responsible for the.
How long has the clock been not operating? It's gotta be at least like 7 or 8 years, I would think.
I would think, but I don't know.
Yes.
I know it's been a few years,
Right.
but I don't know. I just don't have any, there's nothing, no paperwork on it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely been a while.
I hope we could try to do something. As I said, I've had residents come to me, it's
Oh, I
it's a
know,
little bit of an
yeah.
eyesore. It's falling apart. So.
I think,
If the DPW ever just tear it down,
no, we
We
can't.
can't
We
tear it
did,
down?
we got an estimate. I think it was Colgate's. They gave us an estimate to tear it down. I don't have that on me now, but they were the only ones. I called many companies.
it was astronomical.
No,
Oh,
I'm thinking it was somewhere around 4,000. But I would have to get that for you. Not positive.
so it's not something our DPW can take down.
No, that's not.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we'll just. I put it back, I'll put it back on the agenda even at the end of August, maybe if we get more information. Phyllis was gonna keep in touch with me
Right.
when she gets more information, so I could just keep updating you as the Rotary gets more information and what they're interested in.
clock is a mystery.
It really is.
But we know
Exactly.
it's not us.
I found, no, I sent it to everybody. I found one folder. I was digging through the office and I found a folder. I sent that to everybody, but it's Warren Watkins giving information, but there's no ownership or.
Yeah.
So did the Rotary donate it to us or something? Is
That's
that-
when the Rotary donated it to the borough.
Okay.
That
And
those
then-
are the words I've heard.
But we have nothing like in writing saying we
No.
accepted it or anything?
No,
So it's the only two key parties that possibly have an interest in it would be the borough and the Rotary?
yes,
And
They're the only
Rotary
ones
has
that have
no
asked about it and
background
are
on it
interested.
As far as when it was ever donated. even.
Yeah.
So I mean, everybody is both in limbo as far as.
Yeah.
Who's gonna take it down and who's.
right.
Well, I think if the Rotary and the borough can decide together what they would want to do with it, then the ownership wouldn't be that much of an issue.
Yeah. Well,
If no one is claiming an ownership or saying they're suffering damages by tearing it down or doing what they're
Right.
gonna do with it.
It's also fire company.
because I know that, I think it was the Rotary that painted it, remember when it got painted blue?
I know, and I didn't know who did it, but I remember they
Yeah,
did.
it
paint.
was, I believe maybe Warren Watkins was involved in that part too.
Yeah,
Terry, what year did that clock go
I have
So
no
we're
clue.
saying we have no
No,
idea.
I mean, like, do you remember like in high school and stuff like that, or?
Oh, it wasn't there.
No, I was saying, so I don't know how long ago it was.
Yeah, I guess if you lived in town, maybe you might have an idea if you related it to
I
something.
mean,
I'm sure you could find out. You can look at, just do a Google search, or look at the newspapers or something.
It was there when I was.
What's your recommendation that we do? Is it best for us to just stay out of it, not have correspondence with it, since we have no ownership of it? I'm just afraid the more we get involved, it's almost as if we're.
Still maintaining the property,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
mean-
one thing.
I don't think you can walk away from
The
it.
concern that, like, I would say that the borough would have is, if something were to happen with that clock tower, the borough could be potentially claimed to have ownership of it for like maintenance of it. So if someone gets hurt there or something like that, they could potentially sue the borough. But again, I think we have to decide if we have to figure out who has the ownership. That has to be determined.
exactly, Drew.
I know that we've been
That's
digging and
exactly
it's kind of an ongoing mystery of, you know,
Oh.
where Blackbeard's treasure is.
No,
I think
Warren.
that we have to at least try to figure out, you know,
We had fire company records that we couldn't find. And they went through Warren's basement. I don't know if they still own the house. But,
Warren Watkin?
yeah,
Yeah, that's who all this
Does-
was.
but do they still own that house?
No, I think they sold it.
Okay, because we found fire company stuff
Wow.
after we thought it was gone.
That's probably the one man who would know,
Well, He
honestly.
knew everything.
He did. He was
Everything.
involved in everything.
I don't think council needs to make a decision as far as putting up a new tower, or tearing it down at this point. I think you just have to figure out who is responsible. Whose
Yeah,
tower
that's
is
the
it? How did it translate? How was that gifted, or how was it purchased, or whose
right.
tower it actually is, right?
Yeah, I mean, actually, the Rotary was even talking about them taking it down because they didn't want two clocks in town. If they were gonna put one down at the Triangle, you know, so.
Well, it's interesting, as I'm thinking about it, is the Rotary is asking us, obviously, do we know, they're the ones who donated it, so I wonder, do they have any records of when it was donated, but I assume they don't.
Can't find the
Right,
records either,
right.
that's the
Warren,
unfortunate.
Warren has
Yeah.
the.
Yeah,
No one
I'm sure he
said it.
does. I'm sure.
Are we good to adjourn?
Well,
We don't need a motion for the work session.
okay, I just wanted, the Rotary was the other night, they were talking about power planners that Rotary has.
Mhm.
And there was one suggestion, and they thought that if I could bring it back to the girl. If we could put an irrigation system in for each one of these, so that they wouldn't have to come by every day and put 2 gallons of water in each one of these flower buckets and that, and I said, well, I said, next year, I said, they might have gorgeous artificial flowers that they put in. They're putting artificial Christmas trees in this year. So I said, to go back and I said, that's probably something that they wouldn't consider. I said, they're in front of the business owners, I said, I would think the business owners would wanna just go with the Phyllis goes every day with 2 gallons of water for each one of
I
their.
see her, I've seen her doing it, yeah.
Steve Seelig used to do that, you know? And so, I mean, it is, you know, their donation to the town, but they want it to look nice, but I think that they can handle the watering of that.
So what do they mean by irrigation? I mean, I don't know how you
They
irrigate
have
like
to dig
into
dig
the
down
sidewalk.
into it probably into the road where they would be, and then how would they hook into the water line for the borough? Because everybody has their own water meters with all the business. I mean, it was just something that I couldn't understand it as far as I just thought it really got way too complicated.
So I mean, they mean this, they want, maybe they want our DPW people to want.
What, they had, our DPW used to in the past. They had that,
It seems like Phyllis has a good
Okay.
system with her 2-gallon jug of water. That seems to be working great.
well, yeah, but
Just
she
as
said,
efficient.
yeah, she said, I said, then form a committee, have someone come take a week at a time to do it, different Rotary members, instead of one doing it
Right.
at a time. As Phyllis said, it's an obligation. But other than that, they'll work it out one way or another. So, everybody reviewed our agenda for next week, and is it possible, Jen, that we could leave our information here so you don't have to go and print this all over for next week?
Pardon?
If we can leave all our information here.
Well, this isn't next week's packet.
Right, I usually,
Yeah.
if something else comes up, I usually modify it, I mean. I usually modify it a little bit, I won't have as much, I'll have more information about Portnoy and,
Oh, yeah, but
but it's up to you, Jerry, it really is up to you.
I just thought, rather than trying to save a couple of trees,
I hear you, I hear you. Some things do remain the same.
Exactly,
Thank you for everything. This email is unhinged.
I feel bad, so. Are we adjourned, by the way?
I believe we are, Jen.
Oh.